Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to talk about making this pearl and crystal star. It's made on 28 gauge wire, and it makes it nice and firm so that it holds its shape. And we start with a center circle, and then we make all the spokes going out from it. It works with 8mm pearls, 6mm crystal. These are oat beads, these little a shaped bead. It's kind of like an oat. I guess that's why they're called oat beads. And then at the ends we have a 6mm pearl. Now this comes in a kit. We've put it together to make, the kit makes two. Pearl and crystal star, $11.99, makes two. And everything's in the kit, all your supplies. You don't really need any tools to make this, because it works with wire, and wire you finish with your fingers. And so all the parts are in little packets in the back, and we do have a complete instruction sheet with it to help pearl and crystal star. There we go. And there's pictures, so that's where I'm showing you where you start with the round circle with the wire, and then you start making the points that go out. And then the second side of the pattern sheet shows making the other size point and finishing off with the little circle at the top. Okay, so we'll set our finished one aside, and I'm going to work on one that I've got started here. So I've made the center circle with the wire, and I started making the points to go out. So now I've got wire left here. I put two pieces of wire in the kit so that we can always start in the middle of the wire. Starting in the middle of the wire is always easier, because then you have a less length to work with, because putting wire through anything always is difficult to pull a whole bunch of wire in. So let's work a little bit further along on this one. We put another oat bead on. We're going to make the bigger one this time. So I used two of these little 4mm crystals to get some height on this one. Then we're going to go with the 6mm pearl bead and finish at the top with one of these little seed beads. They're size 8 crystal seed beads. So that goes down there. Now we're going to go around that little seed bead and go back into the pearl bead. This is what creates the point. Wants to go through more beads. So also another little hint, when you're pulling up these lengths of wire, it's always a good idea to hold this bead, hold the little seed bead, and tug on this wire. You can even use a pair of pliers if you find that you can't get enough tug with your fingers. But do be a little bit careful, because this thin wire does break fairly easily. I got a little gap there, so we'll give it another little tug. Pull it up nice and tight. Okay, so then on the other side of that point, I would put two more of these little crystals. And then the oat bead to get the length, and then we need a crystal bead right next to the circle. When I was working out this pattern, I found that I couldn't get my oat beads to sit nicely against the circle. So by putting this little seed bead in there, it gives a little bit of a space there, and it helps to keep them apart. Now when you come down with this point, we're going to go into this circle. We're going on the opposite side of the pearl bead. Started on this side, went over to this side, and I'm just going to wrap around that center circle. Now I'm kind of running out of wire here, but what would happen here now is I would go up through this one, the seed bead again, to make the short circle. So what we do now when we run out of wire, start with the second piece of wire, and we'd go say on this side we want to start over here, but I'm going to kind of divide this in the middle, and I'll start it over on this side, put it through, and kind of line up the raw ends so that I see where the middle is. Oops. And we will circle that around at least once to get it a little bit of stability there. Okay, so now we're going to go off both directions. Now the crystal bead has the short point, this point, and the pearl bead has the longer point. So depending on which direction I want to go, that's what we would do. But the first thing I would do would be to add that seed bead that sets us back from the circle enough that we can work. So we set that seed bead in, and then I would go ahead and put a pearl bead on, or pardon me, a oat pearl. So that goes there, and then the short one has the 6mm pearl bead at the top, another seed bead, and we come around that seed bead and down. And I'll just hold that seed bead so that we can pull up that wire and get rid of all the gaps. There we are. So then we're going to come back with the same oat bead again. Drop that down, and we'll add that seed bead to go next to the center circle. Okay, so we got that in there, and this one's going around my crystal bead. So bring the wire down, snug up the wire good, and do an extra wrap. So now it would be the big point, so we would have to go back through that little bead. That's very important there. I ran out of wire on the other side, so I wanted to show you that you had to go through that little seed bead before you start into this next point. So there, I think that will help you get going on the kit if you wanted to do the kit, and have fun making crystal stars. Bye for now.